Hello guys, setosorcerer here again, and this is going to be a complete guide on the minigame Temple Trekking. This minigame got a huge revamp on the 17th of August 2011. I'll be covering this guide in two major parts: how to play this minigame and all the possible encounters, and the second half will show how to level your NPC to 99 and get their full reward of this minigame. The second half of this video will be linked at the very end, so let's get started. Chapter 1: The Requirements and Recommendations. In order to do this minigame, you must have completed the quest in Aid of the Mirror Creek. However, it's highly recommended to complete the Darkness of Hallowvale. This will allow you to do the Berg the Rock Ramble minigame as well, which is the exact same thing as Temple Trekking, but allows you to do round trips without banking. Also, it's highly recommended not to finish Legacy of Seer Gaze, as sometimes you may get the Watchfire event, and you can only kill him using the Invandis Flail. This weapon is extremely slow and takes forever to get maxed out, so it's not worth doing. Chapter 2: The Setup. For this minigame, you will need the following items in your inventory. These items are a must, as you will need them in order to do some of the tasks, and can't be done without them. Also, some of these items are available when doing certain obstacles. However, it's best just to have them in your inventory, so you won't waste time. The items are a silver weapon. This could be any silver-based weapon such as a silver sickle, an Invandis flail, or even silver bolts. A Smelms helm, which can be either bought from the GE or made by killing a snail mort mire and using a chisel. A hammer, a hatchet, a knife, and a tinderbox. And of course the Invandis flail if you have finished the Legacy of Seer Gaze. I have made a separate guide attaining this item. It'll be an annotation and a link in the description if you want to check it out. Recommended items that will help. The Dwarven Army Axe. This item will reduce the amount of space of inventory you'll need. As of this video, it only acts as a hatchet and tinderbox for temple trekking. It does not act as a knife. House teleports. Assuming your house has a canvas teleport, it will come in handy just in case you meet up with a Watchfire event or you just get stranded. A summoning familiar. Preferably a beast of burden or a combat familiar. Prayer potions. Lastly, food such as sharks. For your armor, preferably you want the best style of combat you'll be using. Typically you want a decent amount of tanking armor power, so keep that in mind. Alternatively, you can modify your armor to be prayer based and pray throughout this whole minigame. Keep in mind this is the general setup of playing the minigame. This setup does not help you level your NPC faster, and it's solely for playing the minigame. That setup will be included in part 2. Chapter 3: The Minigame. This minigame is basically escorting people from the Berg the Rock area and taking them to Patadomus. In order to start at any point, simply head to Patadomus or Berg the Rock and click the notice board. This will activate a screen like this. As you see, there's 3 NPCs in each area you can choose from, one being hard, medium, and easy. Once you feel comfortable on what NPC you want to join, click on him or her to confirm. When your NPC teleports in front of you, you can trade him or her food. Once you're ready, talk to them and get started. As you see here, you'll see a fork in the road when you get started. This road has an easy, medium, and hard path. The path modifies what type of rewards you'll receive at the end. You will receive around 2 to 5 random events throughout the paths, and you can mix up which path you want after each event. After each trip, you will receive a reward token. These colors are based on the reward, blue being the lowest, yellow the medium, and red being hard. Getting a red ticket is based on what NPC you're with, what events you get on the hard path, and how well can you complete those events. Chapter 4: The Events. I'll be showing how to complete each event in detail. All events will appear on each path with the exception of the boat event, and that's only on the hard path. The combat level of the monsters are based on what path you take, so keep that in mind. There's 2 major events: aggressive events and obstacle events. So the first event is called the Bog. This event requires you and your NPC to cross a swampy bog. Now with this new update, you can use a stick that is picked from this bush, and you're allowed to use it on the bubbles to identify the floor solid enough. Also, a cool feature of this event is that your character will automatically move to the next space if it's a firm area to walk on. The next event is called the River Pass. This event requires a knife. All you'll need to do is click on this tree for 3 vines. Once you get the 3 vines in your inventory, simply click on them to make a lasso rope. All you have to do is click on the branch and swing across. Your NPC will automatically cross with you. If by any chance you forgot your knife, there is a backpack on the floor where you could get one. The next event is called the Birth of a Gas. Now this event has two options. One being the fastest, which is simply using your own food on the starving people. The other option takes a while, but all you do is kill some snails, chop a log from a tree, light it on fire, cook the food, and then give it to the people. This is riskier because people turn into gas very fast and you don't have that much time. This shows what happens if you fail the event and the people turn into a high level gas and you have to kill them. This next event is called the Broken Bridge. This event has two parts with it, one being where Lumberjack zombies and the one without. In both of them you can easily chop the trees and get 3 logs. Once you get these logs, simply use it on the bridge to fix it. You'll need a hatchet and a hammer for this event. The only difference with the zombies is that they drop 100% planks, and there's a chance they'll drop the Lumberjack clothing. There's a backpack on the floor if you need a hatchet, but there's no hammers provided. The next event is called the Grotto. This event is new and all you have to do is put out the fires around the grotto. Simply jump over the bridge and right click the nature sphere to become infused with water. All you have to do is just click on the fire. There is no way to stop the spread, so don't worry about it. Just simply douse all the fire. This last obstacle event is called a Brutal Crank. This event is the only event that actually gives you something and finishes very fast, so all he does is heal you and your NPC to full health and also makes any rotten food turn into curry or stews. Now here's the start of the combat related events. The first event is called the Gask event. This event requires you to kill gas to continue. Your NPC friend will use their druid pouch to make invisible for you. The new update allows your NPC to make invisible, so in temple trekking now you don't have to bring a druid pouch and a blessed sickle anymore. The second event is called the Shade event. Now this event takes place in Morton apparently, and your goal is to kill all the shades and protect the villagers. The shades are all melee based and they're fairly easy. One strategy is to get all the shades' attention. This way they can't destroy the doors and kill the villagers. Also, if you get their attention, your NPC could attack them and help them level. This is actually the best event to level your NPC, which of course will be discussed on part 2 of this guide. The third event is called the Vampire Juvenates. This event requires a silver weapon in order to kill him. Any other form of combat or attacks won't work. Also, your NPC friend won't be able to attack him, and the vampires won't attack them either. There is no need for a Guthix balance potion in this event. The fourth event is called the Giant Snake. This event is by far the most annoyingest one of them all. Firstly, the moment that you get in, they are already locked onto your NPC friend. Secondly, they hit very high and very often. Third, they are extremely hard to click on, and you'll have to click on their exact pixels in order to attack them. Fourth, once they die, their carcass are the first option that blocks all the remaining snakes under them. This event has a very high chance of making your NPC friend die, so it's best to keep on healing your NPC and using your best combat prayers to deal more damage. After you kill the snake, you're able to use a knife to skin his hide. This can be used for money or crafting, take your pick. The fifth event is called the Giant Snail. This event requires a snail helmet or protection from range. If you don't have either, you'll be taking a large amount of damage fast, and this event's fairly easy. The next event is called the Nail Beast. Nail Beasts hit around 3 to 4 attacks, but they're fairly weak. However, if they're hitting your NPC, it can be a challenge as they do kind of hit pretty often. As some of the other tactics, simply get their attention to save your NPC friend. They drop Talon, Beast, Charms, and Nails. The Nail Beast can be used with a Super Restore Potion, and it adds a small anti-poison effect with it. Also, the Charms dropped are worth keeping because these are the only charms in the game that gives you over 1000 XP per pouch. The seventh event is called the Skeleton event. Now this event is new, and it's fairly easy. All you have to do is just run around and get every skeleton's attention. Once everyone is on you, simply head to the center and click on the coffin on the center to activate it. You'll have around 2 blasts, and each blast will destroy every single skeleton in and around the fences. Like I said, you only get 2 tries, so on the second try, try to reposition all the skeletons to hit them again. Now the 8th event is called the Watchfire event. Now as stated before, you want to avoid these at all costs unless you have a maxed out Flail. For these, you will need the Invandis Flail to kill. However, I find it much faster just to teleport to your house and restart the minigame, as it wastes your time for this event. Now the last event only appears on the hard path only, and this event requires you to kill a tentacle type kraken looking monster. Now this event takes place on a boat. and there's 4 tentacles that pop up. All you have to do in this event is attack all 4 of the tentacles, and then attack the head to continue. Now this concludes part 1 of the temple trekking minigame guide. Part 2 will be on an annotation right now and a link in the description. As stated before, part 2 will focus mainly on leveling up your NPC, getting the construction outfit, and other rewards. Please click the link in the screen now to watch. If you guys found this first half of the guide to be useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as both of these guides took a very long time to make. So I'll be seeing you on the other video, and